If we could construct a psychiatric Frankenstein monster, we could not create a leader more dangerously mentally ill than Donald Trump.
He lies because of his sociopathic tendencies that Dr. Gartner was talking about, that he lies in the way anybody who scams people does, that he's trying to sell an idea or a product by telling you something that's untrue.
If he was a paranoid schizophrenic and he was wearing a tinfoil hat, then he wouldn't be elected president. But he's just sane enough, as it were, to pass.
This video is different. Not because Trump is being criticized again. That's nothing new. It's different because real Harvard psychiatrists went on national TV and said things so extreme, it's a miracle this was ever broadcast. They compared Trump to a psychiatric Frankenstein and called him, quote, a paranoid narcissist detached from reality, like a schizophrenic in a tinfoil hat. No meme, no comedy. This actually aired on American television. So watch yourself and hit the subscribe now, because after this, you might be too shocked to find the button. Let's go.
The president is a raving lunatic. He is not well. Those are not my words. Those are the words of Andrew Gillum. He was echoing what has become mainstream thinking now about the mental health of the President of the United States during a week in which the President has said he is the King of the Jews, the second coming of God, the chosen one. Well, we told you so. We had our first discussion of the President's mental health on this program with psychologist John Gartner and former professor of psychiatry at Harvard Medical School, Lance Dotis.
If we could construct a psychiatric Frankenstein monster, we could not create a leader more dangerously mentally ill than Donald Trump. He's a paranoid, psychopathic narcissist who's divorced from reality and lashes out impulsively at his imagined enemies.
He lies because of his sociopathic tendencies that Dr. Gartner was talking about, that he lies in the way anybody who scams people does, that he's trying to sell an idea or a product by telling you something that's untrue.
Let me ask you something. In Germany, we actually have laws against this kind of public character assassination. You can sue people for it. But here in the US, is this even legal? I mean, we are not talking about satire here. These are licensed psychiatrists speaking on national television, calling the president a paranoid lunatic with delusions of godhood. And here's the thing. I'm not a psychologist. Maybe you aren't either. But if Trump really was that mentally unfit, then why did global banks lend him billions? Were they all blind? Or is there something else going on? And if you think that was already the wildest part, just wait until you hear what comes next.
There's that lying. There's also the kind of lying he has that is, in a way, more serious, that he has a loose grip on reality.
If he was a paranoid schizophrenic and he was wearing a tinfoil hat, then he wouldn't be elected president. But he's just sane enough, as it were, to pass, but actually detached from reality, as Dr. Dotis said, so that what is real is fluid.
Later that year, Dr. Gartner and Dr. Dotis contributed articles to the book The Dangerous Case of Donald Trump, 27 Psychiatrists and Mental Health Experts Assess a President. A new edition of that book was published this year with 10 more entries, which then changed the subtitle to 37 Psychiatrists and Mental Health Experts Assess a President. In that book, Dr. Dotis writes, Mr. Trump's sociopathic characteristics are undeniable. They create a profound danger for America's democracy and safety. Over time, these characteristics will only become worse.
Strange. I mean, when you let it sink in, everyone in America already knows that Trump has a narcissistic personality. You watch him for decades from a reality show to the White House. So if his flaws are that obvious, what's MSNBC really trying to say? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. If Trump is so clearly unfit, then the people who voted for him must be even worse. Too blind to see what's right in front of them. Too unstable to be trusted with the ballot. That's the logic. And if you follow it to the end, they are not just attacking Trump. They are attacking people who was voting him. Maybe you are the problem. So what is next? Take away your vote? Only allow candidates approved by media experts? Hand out political guardians like a medical perceptions? Let's be honest, that's maybe the dream of some of these journalists. Not just to take Trump down, but to delegitimize the people who voted for him. But now it's time for the final part, and I promise you, if you thought what you have seen was so far shocking, you might want to hold on tight. Check this out.
And joining our discussion now, once again, is Dr. Lance Dotis, a former assistant professor of psychiatry at Harvard Medical School and an analyst at the Boston Psychoanalytic Society and Institute. Dr. Dotis, thank you very much for joining us once again.
My pleasure.
You told us in 2017 that it was going to get worse. It will. Your words will only become worse. Is that what we're seeing this week?
Absolutely. Donald Trump, because he has a fundamental need to be all-powerful and all-loved, can't stand challenges. And the nature of democracy is that it challenges people. We have more than one opinion. So the more, it was predictable that once he got into a position where people would challenge him, there are two parties, he would become more unhinged. He can't stand anything that disagrees with him, and the more you challenge him, the more unhinged he becomes, the more paranoid, and the more violent, potentially. Well, he doesn't really love anyone except himself. That's not a slur. That's a psychological fact. People like him are about him. As long as they stay loyal to him, he loves them. As soon as they challenge him, as soon as they disagree, then they're terrible people, which he has said about each of these folks. So, of course, it means nothing. He never loved him. He only used him. And if he's not useful to him, then he stops loving him. That's part of the essential emptiness of Donald Trump. He doesn't have real relationships with people. Maybe his personal family, we don't know about that. But you can see that he discards anyone who doesn't fit his personal needs, which makes him unable to really relate to our allies as well as our enemies.
What this guy just described, honestly, it sounds like a default personality type in politics. I mean, have you seen House of Cards? Politics is full of power-driven people, filled by distrust and ambitions. If you don't have eyes in the back of your head, you are out there. So everything they say about Trump, you could tone it down in 10 notches and it will still apply to the half of Washington. Maybe the real difference is Trump doesn't hide it. He wears it all on the outside. Maybe I'm just reacting to how extreme this coverage feels. Maybe it makes me instinctively lean toward defending him. I don't know. Does that happen to you too? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to see another wild moment where the media completely lost the plot, do yourself a favor and check out the next video. Thank you for watching. See you next time.